Adaptation is the adjustment of an organism to the environment. All organisms adapt to the environment to ensure the survival of the species. You're probably familiar with the plants in your environment. They are everywhere. So the reason plants are able to survive in their environment is because of their adaptations. A plant adaptation is a unique feature a plant has that allows it to live and grow in its habitat or place that it lives. And once you move these trees from their natural habitat, they will often find it hard to survive and eventually die. Plants in different habitats have different adaptations. Therefore, plants can be classified into mesophyte, hydrophyte, halophytes, and xerophyte. Mesophytes is plants that live in a habitat that is not too dry nor too wet with an adequate supply of water. Next is hydrophyte, plants that live in aquatic habitats either on the water surface or submerged in the water. Halophytes, plants that live in swampy habitats at the river mouth, the meeting point of freshwater and seawater. Xerophytes, plants that live in a habitat that is hot and dry with a minimum presence of water. That is a place with very high temperatures such as the desert.
Hi, I'm Najwa and I'm gonna tell you about adaptation feature of hydrophytes. Hydrophytes is the plant that can adapt to their wet habitat whether by floating on the water surface or sinking in the water. For example, lotus. Lotus are the plants that can grow by floating on the water surface. It's because the leaves are thin and flat to help this plant absorb maximum sunlight from photosynthesis. The upper epidermis of the leaf is also covered by a waxing waterproof cuticle to ensure the stomata are always open. The stem of this plant consists of light tissue with plenty of air surface between the cells. The next example is aloe vera. Aloe vera is the plant that grows inside the water. This plant have leaves that thin and small to increase the total surface area per volume and to increase the diffusion rate of water, mineral salt, and dissolved gases directly into the plant. This plant doesn't have stomata and waxy cuticle on the leaf. Besides that, their stems are small and hollow to help this plant float upright in the water and help reduce water flow resistance.
Now it is my turn to explain about the adaptive feature of halophyte and xerophyte. Adaptive feature of halophyte and xerophyte. So we start with the adaptive feature of halophyte. As we know, halophyte are plants that can live in high concentration of salt and low oxygen content. This area also exposed to the high light intensity. One of the examples of halophyte are mangrove trees. Their roots and leaves have their specific adaptive features to adapt to the environmental condition. The first adaptive features of leaf is thick cuticle and sunken stomata. Sunken stomata means the stomata are present embedded deeply in the leaf, so they are not exposed to the sunlight directly. This is only the example to show sunken stomata. This characteristic will able to reduce the rate of transpiration so that the loss of water will be less. Next, mangrove trees has succulent leaf. If you don't know what is succulent leaf are leaves that have thick fleshy tissues that can store water. This is the example of mangrove leaf. As you can see, they are thicker a bit compared to the leaf that we always see. The leaf of mangrove trees have special features known as hydrate that can eliminate excess of salt. This is because they live in high concentration of salt, so they need to eliminate the excess of salt. Lastly, for adaptive features of leaf is all leaves of mangrove trees can store salt. They will fall off when the concentration of salt stored is too high. Next, we will proceed to the adaptive features of root of mangrove trees. First one is the root system branches widely and exists in various shape and size. This characteristic can provide support to the plant to continue living in soft and muddy soil. Other than that, due to strong wind, this characteristic will help to prevent plants from being uprooted. Next, the root system of mangrove trees also produces hundreds of breeding roots that grow vertically upwards above the surface of the soil. This is what we call pneumatophores. In this picture, you can see the roots grow upwards. Their roots also have many pores called lenticles. These pores enable the exchange of gases with the atmosphere. Last but not least, the cell sap of mangrove roots has higher salt content compared to the seawater. Hence, the cell sap of roots does not lose water by osmosis. Meanwhile, the mangrove trees receive water and mineral salt from the seawater entering their roots. Now we turn to other plant which is xerophytes. We all know xerophytes live in desert area that receive a little rainfall. This adaptive ability is what will determine the survival of the xerophyte. One of the examples of xerophyte is cactus. First adaptive features is the roots of xerophyte grow widely and penetrate deep into the soil to absorb water and mineral salt. The water absorbed is stored in root stem and leaf. So, this is the example of cactus root. Due to small leaf of cactus, so the stem carries out photosynthesis. Their leaf and stem also have thick waxy cuticle to reduce the water loss through transpiration. They are also a leaf modified into thorns. This feature reduces the total surface area exposed to the sun, thus reducing water loss. Thorns also help to get water supply by collecting dew. This is the picture of dew. The dew will drop on the ground and it is absorbed by the roots. Thorns also prevent the plant from being eaten by animals. Lastly, the stomata are abandoned to reduce the evaporation from the leaf. This is the picture of stomata. The stomata are present embedded deeply in leaf, so they are not exposed to the sunlight directly. It is just the same with the sunken stomata. That's all from us. I hope you guys will enjoy listening to our explanation. Bye bye. Assalamualaikum.